Hey guys, Tim here with the Long Hair Gardener, and today is all about preparing for summertime. I don't know about you, but I am getting very excited to be out in the garden and to plant those annuals and just see what is in store for this summertime. So to do that, today I'm going to take you along and show you how I'm preparing for this summer with some plants that I have had in storage. So I'm going to be breaking those out of dormancy, putting them in pots, and also just doing a few propagations of some Coleus. So if you've been following my channel, you will know that last year I had a red Abyssinian banana tree, and I have attempted to overwinter it this year by bringing it inside and keeping it in my basement. So for the last few months, it has been living in this bucket. It has survived, especially since there's a new leaf coming right there. So today I am going to take it outside, put it in a pot, and get it ready for the summertime. Okay, out here in the sunlight, yes, this has definitely survived, and I think it is going to be just fine for growing this year. I just stored it in some sawdust, and really I didn't do anything to it. I just left it down there. So I'm going to come in here, probably take off some of this, some of these dead leaves, and then just transfer it into this pot. I believe I'm going to put this in the ground this year, but just because it is still early in the season, I'm going to put it in a pot. That way, if it does get cold again, I can bring it inside. But I do want to have it outside during these next couple warm days. That way it can get started. Well, you can see it does have some new roots here, so I think we are in good shape. No use using the brand new soil. I have some soil here that's perfectly fine. Okay, I think that looks pretty good, and within a month I should probably be able to put this in the ground, and I'm hopeful it will get record heights this year. I'm not going to water this in because the soil did have some moisture in it, and I'm still a little nervous about it rotting, but I will probably water it tomorrow. In addition to the banana tree, I also had some other bulbs and plants storing in the basement, and so I brought them out brought them outside now that it's finally pretty consistently warm. So I had a canna, which is this guy right here, and some of the other bulbs I've just put in some pots just so that they can get a jump start on the season. So I do have another variety here of a canna. I think it's Tropicana Gold. This is the just a regular Tropicana. This here is a pineapple lily, which is already growing pretty quickly. I got that at the Philadelphia Flower Show. And then I have 2 upright alocasias right here. I have 3 calla lilies, and then I also have a black elephant here, which isn't doing anything quite yet, but I can see some root growth inside. So something else I want to do today to prepare for the summer growing season is I need to move these tulips, which are pretty much done blooming, so that I can use that window box, and I'm just going to plant them over here into the ground so that they can come up next year. Alright, so in addition to potting up some bulbs that I have overwintered inside, I'm also going to propagate these Coleus. If you've been following my channel, I made a video where I took some cuttings of my favorite Coleus and put them in these pots so that I could overwinter them and have them for next year. So now that it is getting warmer, it's time to create multiple plants using these 2 plants here that I have saved over the winter. Now, Coleus are not expensive plants, but I do find that when I do find a plant that I really like, it is sometimes difficult to find that same plant again the following year in a greenhouse or nursery. So that's why I have chosen to overwinter these inside and then try to propagate them now in the spring. So the way that I do that is I just have some potting soil and some old pots that I had saved from last year. And this is very simple. All I'm going to do is take some of this rooting hormone, dip the plants in the rooting hormone, and just stick them in the pots. So let me show you what I mean. This really couldn't be any easier. All you do is just swirl the bottom of the plant there where you just cut in some of the rooting hormone, and I'm just gonna make a little hole. You want to make a hole so that you don't knock off the rooting hormone. So if you just jam it in there without making the hole, the rooting hormone will probably get rubbed off. So make a hole, stick the plant in, and then I'm just gonna do like a light pinch around the edge there. And that is it. So I'm gonna do it. I want 6 plants total, 3 of each. I'm gonna go ahead and go through the same process, water them in, and then I'm going to keep them inside because it's still a little too cold outside. And I'm going to leave them on a heating mat just to help encourage some root growth. Alright, and on some of these I'm going to remove some of these lower leaves because that's just gonna take up way too much energy when this plant is trying to create new roots. So I'm just gonna remove some of those before I add the rooting hormone. And as you can see here, I give a generous amount of rooting hormone on there. And as I'm sure you probably noticed, these plants that I have been keeping inside probably don't look the most appealing, but that is fine. That's not the point of overwintering these. The point is not to have the original plant look good, but rather to have these new starts flourish. So they are going to be just fine, and once they look like they are going to root and survive, then I can actually get rid of the original plant that I have kept inside because it doesn't look so great. At this point, I'm going to say you could, another way to propagate is you could also take the cuttings and put them in water and wait for them to develop roots. That is another way. That's probably a better way if you don't have a heating mat, because frankly it is still too cold, and if your house is too cold, it's a good chance that these plants won't survive without a heat source from below. So if you don't have a heating mat, I recommend putting it in some water and allowing them to grow roots before you put them in the pots. This is not a great example, but this one, which is very long, too long, has been in some water, but you can see it has some roots down here, and actually has, it's a little slimy, but it does have some new shoots on the side. So I could put this in a pot and it should be just fine without heat. But heat is always helpful when you're trying to grow or propagate plants. All right, I'm just gonna come in here now, water these really good, and then take them back inside and sit them on that heat mat that I was talking about. And then hopefully in a month, I will be able to plant these outside. I did just run inside real quick and grab my heating mat just in case anybody was not sure what I was referring to. Oops, I'm dropping it. So this is what my heating mat looks like. I got it from Amazon. I know that you can buy them in other places as well. So this is made specifically for plants. Please don't use a heating pad that you would maybe use for sore muscles. Again, this one is specifically for plant growing. So it's just a thin mat that plugs in, and you can set your pots on top of this, and it creates this nice subtle warmth from below, which is what most seeds or plants need to help germinate or grow roots. So pretty inexpensive. Alright guys, I think I have all of my winter plants outside now, potted up and ready to break their winter dormancy period, and they will be ready to be planted outside maybe in a month. Whenever it is a cold night, I still bring them inside, so that's why I'm putting them in pots rather than just directly putting them in the ground. I still need the ability to move them about if it is getting too cold at night. But anyway, I think I'm in a good place and all ready for the summer, and that pretty much wraps up this video for today. So please click like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next garden video. Have a great day.